Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. I've been getting a lot of questions about this light, the Hipargero, and a lot of people have been asking kind of similar questions. So I ended up doing this video because I actually do have an Oceanic BioCube at 29. And a lot of the questions are about 20 gallons, 25 gallons. So I figured, being that this is a pretty common tank and there was a couple questions about this, I can end up showing you exactly what kind of par levels you will be getting with this light in a bigger tank. I did recommend to a couple people not to use this light, but you know what? Let's check out the par levels and let's the light speak for itself. Under this light, though, this is my hospital tank, my quarantine tank, or observation tank. If something's wrong with one of my corals or fish, they end up going in here just to make sure everything's okay. I actually have a black box which hangs above it, which is made from light time tunnel, which I had pretty good success with. I actually end up using it on my main display tank, and I have 3 of them on there, and I had them for about a year with great success. My leathers and everything grow great underneath there. My large polypsonic corals growing great. I have a bubble tip, as you see in the bottom left-hand corner. Hasn't moved since I put it in a tank. It's actually colored up tremendously and everything with these lights. So I would definitely recommend that as a step up, especially for something in the 20-gallon range. You can't go wrong with it, except the problem is how you're going to hang the light. That you kind of got to work out for yourself. So, with that being said, let's get started and get some par levels here, alright guys? Another thing is, I pointed out, I have a little clip I'll show you as far as I have it clipped on the false wall, which leads to filtration. I'm going to end up showing you a little clip and stuff of how it is hung back there.
Okay, here's the clip I've been talking about. Now you can see the lip of the Oceanic BioCube is 1 inch, which you can see clearly does not fit. You have to move it forward in order to place it on the false wall in order to try to mount this, which you can see it drops right away into the water level of your tank. And as we all know, metal and salt water do not make the best of friends. So I would right away put a red flag up for that. Also, the cord's draping over. Now, you can see it's perfectly mounted, and it is from left to right, it's 20 inches wide, front to back is 21 inches, but if you take into consideration the filter area, it's actually 16 inches. It's also 16 inches deep from the very bottom to the top. And if you look, you can see it does wobble a little bit, so you do have to be cautious.
Alright everyone, now I have it mounted as I was explaining before, and now both of these are at 100%. The LEDs, blue and white. Also, I actually had a couple interesting questions with the violet LED. This one does have the violet LED. I heard that other brands that are obviously kind of knockoffs, or if this one is the knockoff, it actually does not have a violet, or some do. So just something to keep an eye on when you're up looking to buy this light if you do. Now, with that being said, let's take a couple reads and see how everything goes. Now, as of right now, I got everything set up, so it's everything for the par. So, get my hands in here, get a little wet, and let's get some readings. Now, center at 100% on the what would be the very bottom, pretty much on the rock bed right here. Now, I'm looking at getting roughly 144, 148. Now, that's at both at 100%. Now, it's going to be 10K, alright? You're going to actually have some... The corals are not going to pop, I'll be honest with you. They don't pop. Once you get more in the blue spectrum, you drop the whites down is when you're going to start seeing that pop. Can it grow coral? Yeah, absolutely. At 150, that's pretty much anything over 150 from Tidal Gardens, if you look. It's considered to be high par. And that's directly dead center of the bottom, as you can see right here. Now, I'm going to move it over to the corner, the front corner, at 100%. And I have a little zoa colony right there. I'm going to actually take a little par reading right there and see how it is. And you have to remember, I have dead center of the light. It's approximately 18 inches up. That's from the very bottom of the tank to where the light is actually hanging itself. Now, let's see what we got over here. It's kind of like 43, 40. So we're starting to hit some low par. Let me see if I can angle it better towards the light. There you go. Might be a little better. You're hitting 37, 43. Now that's pretty low par. So for the outskirts of the tank, I would say definitely no. You could get me away with maybe some lower light corals, some brains and stuff like that. Let's see. Let's check the back corner right here. When I'm seeing at 100%. So 100%. There you go. Got an angle towards the light. Let's see. Actually, the way the light shimmers and stuff, sometimes you have to make sure this eye's lined up perfectly. There we go. Let's see what we got. Once again, 40, 44. So about the same. Spectrum's nice, but once again, you're looking at that low par. You know, I'm going to get some measurements and stuff. I'll put them on the screen for you to see exactly how far away some of these readings are. But so far, if you were to put this light above here, one, it's honestly small for the tank. Two, it's at both the 100%, and you're not going to get that color pop that you're really looking for. Another thing too is, if you do, it would have to be a center piece pretty much. Like, you would have to build your reef dead center pretty much, almost like you know, stacked up all the way to top, like the surface and everything. So you'd have to be really smart with coral placement. You know, right below the surface, right here, dead center again, you're looking at 324, 314. So it's not so bad, but like I said, once again, you'd have to be very smart with your coral placement. Not to mention the way that this is mounted on the back wall here. It is flimsy. If you are messing around and you happen to knock it really good, that bracket is metal, and that's a plastic back wall right there. So you're looking at possibly snapping and damaging a portion of your tank. So that's another reason why I would definitely not recommend it. Let's see, middle of the tank, off to the side. See what we got over here. About 115, 127 you get out of it. So, you know, like I said, yes, you can grow it, but you're going to have to keep everything mid to high and pretty much everything around the center. So if you do just have a center, you know, center reef, nothing stretched out, anything like that, you definitely could get away with it, but it's going to be 100%. Because at 100%, if you're seeing things like that, you know what, we'll do 50% on blues, 50% on whites, and we'll see exactly what we're going to get out of this. But I'm going to say it's going to be pretty low, especially on the outskirts and the corners. Alright, let me get it set up and we'll take some more readings. Alright, now my lights are, it's at 50% white, 50% blue, and I have it dead center on the very bottom of the bed. Actually, you know what? Move it down right there. There you go. Now, we're actually getting 61 par, 58 par. Once again, Spectrum's great in this light. It's just, I wouldn't really recommend this light, honestly, for anything over 10 gallons, 15 gallons. Is starting to push it. But once you start getting into the biocubes, I would definitely recommend nothing, you know, I wouldn't recommend this light for this. You know, I'm just being honest. I actually end up putting a gel filter on so you can see. I have the blues at 100%, and I have the whites down 8 out of 10 clicks. We're going to take a couple more readings just in case, you know, someone maybe wants to still put this on their tank. Maybe they're pretty persistent about it, you know. So I'm going to end up taking a couple more readings. It doesn't hurt. You know, if anything, it'll maybe answer a couple more questions. Well, what if you have it a little bit above 50%? You know, anything like that. So, you know, I figured why have everything set up? Why not? What harm's it going to do, right? So, let's do this now. Now, very bottom center. There we go. It's on. We're getting 103 on the bottom right here. Like I said, 116. Said once again, it's at 100% blues, down 8 clicks as far as white go. In order to get the corals to pop, pretty much the way I have it up in my nano upstairs. Now let's see, the way I actually place this. You have to be make sure your light's lined up and everything in order to get it going good. So there you go, 100 par, 198. So, you know, it's still, you can grow stuff, you know, this is the very bottom. Now let's try the front corner. Just got it right here. Lean it so that the eye catches the light. What do we got going on here? Now we got probably, let's see, 30s. There you go. Because the shimmer, the way the water shimmers and everything, sometimes it can throw the sensor. That's why you'll notice it bounces. It's never a solid number all the time. So it's about 34. And when we had it both at 100, we were seeing like 45, I believe it was, roundabout. 30, 33. So, you know, like I said, it's still lower par. Like I said, your best bet if you do decide that's what you want to do, you know, you would have to keep everything in the center and keep away from the outskirts. You know, it does mean more swimming room for the fish. Some people do like a centerpiece and work their way around it. Other people like a long, sprawled out, you know, as far as it goes with the way the reef goes. You know, see, same thing in the other corner, 34, 37, same thing. You know, I'll go mid-level again, halfway up on the outside. See what we get here. Line everything up. Alright, what do we got? 40, 50, 51. Huh. Alright, let's try dead center middle. Dead center middle, you get 220 for dead center middle. 190. I guess I came up a little bit. Now let's see. Let's go right below surface, like I was doing before. Sorry if I'm bouncing you guys around. I'm not trying to. There you go. Looking at 380, 390. So, I mean, you could get away with it, but like I said, there's a lot of things I'd be very cautious about. And this light goes for about 60 bucks. This one goes for about 95, sometimes 100. I would definitely prefer that light over this as far as going with something for like a 29 gallon or 30 gallon or, you know, a 20 gallon tank. You have no problems lighting anything with this. Down the road I am going to do a bunch of part readings on that. This is the light time tunnel one. It's not the Mars Aqua. It has different lenses and everything like that as well. So down the road you'll probably be catching me do something like that. Alright guys and girls. But thanks for stopping in, and hopefully that does answer some of the questions that I've been getting. See you guys later.